All right, here is the beating bow section for the capoeira music notation. Our first note is dong, which is a solto aberto. Solto means the string will be loose, and I'm going to strike the open string, and aberto means the gourd will be off of my stomach. We call it dong. The next note is our ding note, or preso aberto, which means I'm going to firmly press the coin or the stone to the string, and aberto means it's still off the stomach. The gourd is off the stomach. Call that guy ding. The next note is a chiado fechado, which means I'm going to be closing the gourd against my stomach. That's the fechado part, the closed part. And I'm going to lightly press the coin or stone to the string to get a buzz. We call it a ch-ch-ch-ch. Our next note is a donch, which is a solto aberto, and we pull it to the stomach to make a chiado fechado. Because there is a line connecting the first note to the second note, we only strike the first note and we simply pull to the second note. Only one baqueta hit. The next one is a dinch, which is a preso aberto pulled to a chiado fechado. The next notes are a little bit odd and they aren't as commonly used. Solto fechado. I'm going to play the loose string but closed against the stomach. I'm going to next play a preso fechado. And the next one you're going to see is a chiado aberto. The thing you want to notice between the don, as the solto aberto and the solto fechado, is that if a note is aberto, it's written between two lines, and if it is fechado, it's against the stomach. So, for example, the solto aberto is written between two lines, and the solto fechado is written on the line. It's the same with the preso notes and the chiado notes. Now, a dom is when we're going to start with a solto aberto and close to a solto fechado. There's no coin involved. Fast, it sounds like this. Same idea, we're going to go a dim, which is a preso aberto to a preso fechado. The last couple of notes are specialty notes. We have a single shake of the caxixe with a little triangle, and make sure that goes straight down. Just like that. We have playing the cabasa, which I'm just going to click. Just like that. Can be on or off the stomach. And then we are going to have playing the arame and baixo. So I'm going to play the bottom of the string. All right, that concludes the beating bow section of the capoeira music notation key. This is the notation section for Pandeiro. Our first note that we have is an open tone. It's a long and resonant tone. You will strike this tone 1/3 of the way into the drum, so right here, and I strike it with my second knuckle right there. I'm going to rotate in and come off the head quickly. I can also play this note by using my middle and ring finger, and again striking 1/3 of the way and getting a long resonant sound. These two different sounds should sound the same. You will need this sort of front motion and this back motion in order to play the samba pattern later. The next note that we have is a slap, and there are 3 kinds of slaps. The first is just a flat slap, just like that. You stay on the head. It's a short sound just like that. Also, you can do like a forward slap where you just use your fingers. And you can also do a back slap where you use mostly just the palm of your hand. In a sense, this is a front slap and a back slap and a front slap and a flat slap. You will need the front slap in order to play the samba pattern on Pandeiro later. The next motion is only using the jingles of the Pandeiro. There's an up note and a down note. Up, down. And you should only get 2 sounds. If you're getting something like this, then you're getting too much sound. And you need to only get 2 sounds because it's part of a rhythm. You can do this when you first start with the elbow and then work to just doing either a wrist up, down or a wrist rotation right there. The next 2 sounds are just sort of special notes. The first one is a double stroke roll, where I'm going to do 2 bounces. You need a very rigid finger, and you can either put your index finger right next to your middle finger, or you can lock your index finger over the top, like that. And you can use it in conjunction with like a back of the hand hit, and incorporate that into a pattern. The next one would be a multiple bounce roll. And I'm just going to leave my finger on the head, like that. And you can put that in the middle of a pattern as well. That concludes the Pandeiro notation section. Here's the section for the Atabaque notation. Our first note is like an open tone. It's going to be a long and resonant sound. It can be played in 2 main different ways. First off, I make a triangle with my hands, and I can play with my first knuckle, this knuckle, inside the wood edge, or I can play outside. This is how Cuban conga players tend to play it, and this is how more like djembe players tend to play it. So right here, I'm going to hit it and come off the head really quickly, and let it be a long and resonant sound. The next sound is a slap, and a slap is a short, dry sound, and it can be played here, or it can be played here. Conga players tend to play it right here, and so do djembe players. And traditionally in capoeira music, you see a lot of people, they'll slap right in the middle. Again, it's a cupped motion right there, has high, fast fingertips. The middle of your hand won't touch. The edge of your hand touches all the way through. And the way I teach it is actually pull. See how my fingertips pull like that? So, like that. And actually what's a funny, interesting thing is that do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. It's actually an octave higher. That's the physics of the drum, which is kind of cool. One of our next notes is one that's not commonly used as much. I lifted the drum a little bit so you could really hear it out of the bottom. It's a dead stroke. And I'm staying on the head. The slap stayed on the head, the open tone came off the head, and the dead stroke stays on the head, but it can also come off the head. But it gets a little bit of a resonant sound. So generally the dead stroke is played right in the center, and it's kept on the drum. The last note is a ghosted note, and it's a note basically without sound, and it's just to keep our hands moving. It can be played anywhere on the drum, but is part of like playing more complicated rhythms, and you're just kind of like... But it's like that. It can be anywhere, and it's just a quiet note that helps you keep your hands moving and helps patterns keep going. All right. That concludes the notes for the Atabaque section.